Hey, rock stars! Welcome to April 23rd. Huge day in doTERRA land. I don't know if you guys got the email or not, but today doTERRA released the Launch Your Business campaign. It's a 4-step module that basically you can send people interested in the business or you yourself wanting to learn the business. Teaches you from A to Z what to do, how to do it, when to do it, how fast to do it, who you should invite to do it. It's basically a decade in the making, something that the leaders above us had to get in the trenches and figure out, and it's really a tool to help us really maximize and grow quicker and more efficiently. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to post it in Rockstars. Take a look at it, work through all the material. The nice thing that I really like about it, one, as soon as somebody says, I want to do this as a business, send them the link. They can work through the modules. You can gauge how interested they are from the list of questions they come back to you with. The other thing I really like about it is if you have current builders that you're working with and they have questions, you can find a doTERRA answer within those modules. And within each module, there are a lot of videos. So you can not only answer your builder's question, but also provide them a doTERRA corporate answer. And I like that idea. I think people like it. I think it will help train consistency. So again, I'll post that link for you guys if you haven't seen it yet. I'm really excited about it. So tonight I asked Courtney, Miss Courtney, to share with us. I have watched this girl just kind of set her world ablaze via distance in the social media realm. And it's been fun. I love watching when people come into their own and find the badge of bravery to share it, right? You can always tell when someone's being genuine, when someone's being authentic, when they're really in tune with their true message and true self. And Courtney, I totally see that in you. And I want you to share with us, talk to us about overcoming fears and tuning into who you are and just roll with us. So I'm gonna pass it over to you.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I love doing this kind of stuff. So this is like you said, asked me to do it. I was like, of course. Of course, as long as I don't have something else going on, of course I'll do it. So let me share my PowerPoint because I am a PowerPointer. I get a little distracted, I get a little excited, and without my PowerPoint, who knows what we will talk about. So this will help keep us on track tonight. All right, I've got oils in the diffuser. I'm like ready to roll here. We are going to talk about pushing through fear to reach our potential. This is very specifically what Kenzie asked me to do. She said, okay, I want you to talk about pushing through fear to reach your potential. So that's exactly what we're going to call this tonight. We're going to talk about, and I do have, ignore the pitter patter behind me. We had a 3-year-old take a nap today, which means she is not in bed now. So, and it was a baseball night for Big Brother. You have to go with Daddy. Go with Daddy. Okay. So that is, heads up, that is one of our 7 kiddos. That is our youngest. Our youngest is 3. Our oldest is 13. We did 7 babies in 10 years and found doTERRA right in the middle of it. So we basically had different parenting for the first like 4 than we have, well, 3.5 for the last 3.5. We're like totally different people than we used to be, and it's awesome. So we're going to talk about leveraging our fears, not pushing them down and hiding them, not acting like they don't exist, not working around them so we don't ever have to look at them in the eye. We're going to talk about leveraging them as actual stepping stones to our growth in our personal development, in our businesses. So if that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. We're going to keep going. All right. So first things first, I am a huge fan of visualization. Okay, if you saw my post earlier, I posted a diffuser blend. Okay, if you didn't see it, this is it. If you're sitting by your diffuser and this is rolling, here's what you're getting out of this. You're getting ginger to create movement, okay, energetic movement within you. We're going to be prepared to step out, to apply what we learn here tonight. 1 drop of that ginger, 2 drops of wild orange. This instills the belief that you can accomplish your dreams. It looks more than just possible. It looks inevitable. Of course I'm going to achieve my dreams, right? We get these amazing emotional and energetic benefits from these beautiful oils, guys. And patchouli, I had not realized how marvelous this one was. Takes your passion and strength and it grounds it into your spirit, responsible for putting what you learn into action. The actual verbiage that was used in Desiree Mangendog's book is, this is a manifesting oil. I am all about that. I will be using patchouli on a regular basis from here on out. I was already doing wild orange. It's like the oil of abundance, right? I could handle more abundance, but man, I'll be adding patchouli in now. So if you are sitting by one of these oils or all of them in your diffuser, take some deep breaths. I want you, whoa, we're going to go back, pretend that you didn't see that. We're going to visualize, okay? So I know this is weird. We're not like in the same room. Close your eyes. Don't fall asleep. If you're on the East Coast and it's like 10 o'clock and you don't think it's a good idea to close your eyes, it's fine. But take a minute. We're going to take a breath. And I want you to just picture in your mind right now, picture a life without fear. Okay? What does that look like? What things do you not avoid? What adventures would you go on? What things would you try? What person would you approach about doTERRA? What's your demeanor look like? Are you more confident in the way you dress and in the way you present yourself, in how you feel? Really just sit with that picture of what a life without fear would look like. Okay, open your eyes. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? So many of us are just living with this cloud of fear over us, afraid to take the next step in our business, afraid to do the thing that's really passionate in our hearts because we're so scared of XYZ. We're going to talk about those common fears tonight. So here's the deal. How do I know about fear? Because I'm a person, right? My life is just as chock full of opportunities to let fear stop me as it is for you. Okay, I have messed up a lot in my life, right? I have a lot of reasons to be scared, just like everyone else does. I have insecurities, gobs of them, okay? But I have to make a choice, right? And doTERRA and motherhood and all these things have been the perfect vehicle of empowerment. Okay, if you hang out with me very long, I'm going to use the word empower at least 10 times probably, right? That is my passion, is empowering people. This has been the vehicle of that empowerment for me, though, to find my voice, to uncover the potential that I didn't really realize I had going on. If you want to sit, you just have to be quiet, okay? All right, this is Eleanor. So I know all about the fear, okay? I want to show you what it looks like to not run from the fear, to channel that fear, to turn it into a bigger passion. These are snippets from my Instagram, from my stories over the past, 6 months. I wrote a book really fast, I will add. The second I decided that I don't care what the person thinks. I don't care about the people on my chicken list. I don't care what this looks like. The second I set those things aside, I literally had a massive breakthrough in my life. I can search for myself on Amazon, guys. That is not something I ever thought I would say. I can put my name in the search bar. I purposefully stuck my face on this book as proof that I was not afraid to put my stories out there. It was a very strategic. Now it freaks me the heck out that my face is sitting on someone's nightstand somewhere. That's super weird. But also what a massive step. I put it in my favorite color, I love the color pink. I made sure that like this was the most Courtney cover out there because it was such a huge step for me. Okay. I used my stories to tap into who I really was. And it has been a massive shift for me. Anyway, let's go from that. How about that? Okay, so we have to ask ourselves 2 questions. The first question we're going to ask is, what is fear? The actual definition is that fear is an unpleasant emotion, I think we'd all agree with that, caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or is a threat. So we need to point out this is a belief. This may or may not be a fact. The way that we feel about this situation, this thing we're worried about, this thing that's stopping us, it's just a belief that we have. So what's the interesting thing about beliefs is that they can be changed, guys. Our mindset, and I'm going to talk a little about mindset. You guys know I'm a fan, but our mindset can literally be shifted, to change our belief about our fear. Now, we all know about fight or flight. Freeze is in there too. So we all have this reaction, right? I'm going to fight this fear head on. I'm going to run away from it, or I'm just going to be stuck and not ever move. I've been in each of those places. But what I want to teach you how to do tonight is a version of fight, right? It's a version of fight, but we're going to use the fear to really drive us forward. So I'm a fan of quotes. Oh my gosh. Nelson Mandela said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but it's he that conquers that fear." It's not about pretending it doesn't exist. It's about conquering it, right? Using this to empower us and push us forward. I mean, every husband's favorite guy, Bear Grylls, right? He said, being brave, my husband watches all of these shows, and it's fine. I'm like, I don't know that I'm ever going to be out in the woods and need to know that trick, but I'm glad you've taught me now. Thanks. Being brave isn't the absence of fear. Being brave is having that fear, but finding a way through it. Okay? So we talked about the first question. What is fear? It's an emotion, it's a belief, etc. Second question we have to ask ourselves is, what is our potential? If our fear is going to push us through to find our potential, what in the world is potential? It's having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. Potential is just that. It's a capacity. This is not a guarantee. So what that tells us is that we have potential, and it's up to us to reach it. It's up to us whether that fear causes us to run away or to stay right where we're at and never really reach the potential, but like you can see it in the distance, you're like, that would have been nice, or to drive us forward towards that potential. Okay? Growth is required. Like, this is a requirement for reaching your potential. This is not, and maybe if I feel like it today, nope. Like, I'll just lay it out for you right now. It is a requirement. We cannot possibly push through our fears without being willing to grow. And I think this is hard for a lot of people, a lot of different personality types. It's tricky, right? Because that's scary. Not only do you have fear, but then you have the fear of the unknown. Like, what do I look like on the other side of this? The title of my book, Metamorphosis of a Mommy, is literally about the process of me starting out as one person and using this transformative period in my life to become a different person. I had an experience this last weekend. I was not planning on sharing this. We're just going to roll with it. I had an experience this past weekend. So 5 years ago, I had a really terrible Easter with my in-laws side of the family. Okay. I was pregnant. If you've ever been pregnant on this call, you know that in particular, in the weeks leading up to your pregnancy, you're a little sensitive. Could be a thing, maybe. So I was a little sensitive, and some things were said, and it didn't go real well between this family member and I. We haven't done Easter with that side of the family in 5 years because I had to set up a boundary that I know that this is not a healthy situation for me and this person. And we need to I need some time to heal. I need some time to move on. Well, I've done so much growth in the last 5 years. So we've been doing our doTERRA business, fun fact, for 5 years. It was a completely different experience on Sunday. I was texting with, you guys know Amanda Whitman. She and I were texting, and she's like, okay, yes, the TerraShield to keep off toxic pests really did help you in that scenario. Fun information for you all. It works for people as well as bugs. But you also are not the same person. And it was such a brilliant, light bulb moment. I am literally not the same person because growth was a requirement, right? For me to get to this place of, and I believe that I've truly only begun to tap into the potential that is out there, but I had to grow. There was no other option, right? There was one path towards my potential, and there's a big giant roadblock that says growth time. So this is why last week we talked about vision, right? Vision paired with our personal development is critical, okay? It's vision plus personal development, because one without the other is either going to be stagnant or you're going to be aimless. You can't just pick one. When we have vision, if we want to move forward towards our potential and through the fear, we've got to pair that with growth. Okay, I'll move on. I could talk about personal development and podcasts and books. I could talk about that all night long. It's one of my favorite parts. I actually have to set limits for myself on my personal development because it takes the place of income producing activities otherwise. And that's not good. That's not good. Okay, another quote for you guys. I've learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. Our vision and our purpose and our passion behind our businesses, it already diminishes that. When you know in your heart why you are here, what you are here to do, what your goals are, it makes it so much easier to even try and push past that fear, right? It makes it a lot more simple because you've got that fire behind it. Okay, so what are we so afraid of? 1 million things. So we're gonna legit call out these fears tonight, okay? I am a personality test junkie. You guys know I like personal development. Personality tests are oh man. I actually, in my book, there's a whole chapter about how I was obsessed with personal development, personality tests as a kid. My mom did a lot of marriage counseling. My parents are pastors. She did a lot of marriage counseling and small group leader training. And so she had all these tests, and I would sneak her personality inventories and take them. We had a family Christmas where all of our family came in town, and we sat around and did personality tests. It was the best holiday ever. So I'm really into it because I think it gives us such a good picture. It's like the strengths test, right? When you take that strengths test, it gives you such a good picture of what you're good at and what you can put your energy into and how you can grow. If you don't know where you're weak, you don't know where you can grow, right? So the Enneagram is a version of a personality test. It is very much based around growth. You can go to EnneagramInstitute.com to take a free test. It gives you 9 personality types. But the thing I love about it is that it is based on fear. Okay? Every person has an innate foundational fear that drives their personality traits. Not like other tests where you get a personality and that personality is why you are afraid of certain things, right? The way they approach it, and this is actually the way that I nailed down which type I was, because I had a couple when I took my tests that were like really close. And they encourage you, like, go back and read the fear, and whichever one resonates the most is the one you are. Okay? It was 100% accurate. 100%. So I'm going to kind of share with you these types, okay? Real quick. I won't go into loads of detail. You should totally take the test and read all the descriptions. So the type 1, and there are 9 of them. A number 1 is called the reformer. And these people are rational, idealistic, principled, self-controlled, perfectionist. Even the word perfectionist, you probably are like, well, I know at least 5 people like that, right? This person's fear is of being evil or corrupt, okay? Evil or corrupt. They're worried that what they say might be a lie. These are the people that are real focused on being truthful, on being perfect so that they are not wrong, right? Number 2 is the helper. These people are caring, demonstrative, generous, people pleasers, and possessive. I have never met so many 2s in my life than when I was a doula, right? These are people who are just, nurses are often helper types. doTERRA people are often 2s because there's this piece. That's what draws us to this business, right? Is that piece of wanting to help others and care for others. But this person, their fear is of being unloved or unwanted. What if people won't like me, right? Number 3, achiever. Success-oriented, adaptive, excelling, driven, sometimes to a fault, and image conscious. I will tell you, this is my type. I am a 3 with a wing for, I'm not going to go crazy into, again, explaining it all. Google it, go to the Enneagram Institute, you guys got this. But this fear is of being unaccomplished or worthless. I can tell you as a 3 that I have this innate fear that I will not be successful, that I will get to the end of my life and be like, well, that was a waste. Okay? Absolutely absurd, but that is the piece, that I have to be successful at whatever it is. The picture in my brain of success, what does that look like? Okay, I have to conquer that. A 4 type is an individualist. Sensitive, expressive, dramatic, self-absorbed, temperamental. Super creative types are often a 4, although it's not a requirement. A fear of lacking a unique, significant identity. Being the one that stands out in the crowd, that people notice, being your unique self. Number 5 is the investigator. They're intense, cerebral, perceptive, innovative, maybe a little secretive, maybe a little isolated. Their fear is of being helpless and inadequate. They want to make sure they can do it all on their own, right? Isolated, they kind of tend to stay by themselves so they can get it all right and be able to handle it all on their own. Oh, there we go. Number 6. A 6 is the loyalist. They're committed, security-oriented, responsible, but also a little anxious and probably suspicious. Their fear is that they're going to be without support or guidance. Number 7 is the enthusiast. Busy, fun-loving, spontaneous, versatile, but also completely distractible and scattered. Their fear is of deprivation or pain, that life will be painful or hurt, so they need to enjoy it to the most. 8 is the challenger. Powerful, dominating, self-confident, decisive, maybe a little willful, maybe a little confrontational. Their fears of being harmed or controlled by others, so they take charge, right? And number 9 is a peacemaker. They're easygoing, receptive, and reassuring, agreeable, but sometimes can be complacent. Their fears of loss or separation from others, they try and make everybody happy so that there's no separation, so that nobody's upset with them. Okay, so you might have heard me kind of ramble off all these types, talking about these fears, and you're like, yep, scared of that one. Yep, that sounds like me. We all have these innate fears that drive us towards certain things or away from certain things. Now, I want to point out 3 fears, okay? Most commonly, based on, I did a little research, Eric Worre, can't remember who the other person was that I checked their website. They had a few blogs on this, okay? These are the 3 most common fears within network marketing. Number 1 is rejection. People won't like me. They won't want to follow me. They won't enroll. And they're going to say no. Everybody says no. Nobody shows up to my classes. They've completely rejected me. Oops, did I say something? You guys, there will always be people that say no. I want to just, there's always going to be somebody, right? Now, I have only had about 2 people who legitimately 100% rejected me, okay? The rest, it's just not now, right? Rest assured, it's just not now. No is not now, minus those 2 people, right? We are not here. When we know our mission, when we know our why, it's a whole lot easier to handle the rejection. I know. I just actually posted on my page about this the other day. When people unfollow me on Instagram, set them free, baby. You can go. If you don't want to see pictures of my cute kids, you don't want to talk about natural solutions, if you aren't hanging out in the same vibe that I am, then you need to go find who your tribe is, right? Like, I cannot be everything to everyone. And so this idea that everyone has to like me, everyone probably won't like me. Outside of doTERRA, I got a whole lot of people that haven't liked me in my life. And I had a major block on this when I got into doTERRA. Major block. I had a list of people that I was like, I will never contact them to ask them about oils because they were so mean to me in elementary school. I'm not even kidding you. Okay. I just enrolled my best friend from elementary school, guys, who was on my chicken list, top of my chicken list. She was super intimidating to me. We had like all this history. It ended badly in middle school, like, right? All this stuff. And I put her on the list of people I will never talk to till she reached out to me because we're friends on Facebook and she knew I was the oil lady and would help her with her teething baby. I just enrolled her. She's on our team. Like, get past the fear of them saying no, or the fear that they won't like you, or they've hurt you in the past, or whatever, and just be who you are. And if they're supposed to be a part of your tribe, then they are going to find you. You need to keep your vibe and your energy and your positivity so high that someone has to be at that level or desire that level. Okay, there's another key. They might not be there, but they might want it so bad. So keeping yourself at a place of positivity and doing the personal development and knowing your mission and knowing your why is going to attract the people who desire the same things. And those are the people you want to run with. Talk about, I don't have any builders. Are you the person that you want to attract? Like, you got to be the builder that you want to show up at your class, right? If you want a certain person, you've got to have that and more, or they're not going to be attracted to you. That is like my number one. I mean, I know I've got leaders on here right now. That's my number one thing that I preach to our team is be the builder you want to have. Because I know I wouldn't have ever started doing this as a business if I hadn't seen my uplines doing something that was, sparking something in me, right? That's what I was attracted to, is that community. So much of doTERRA is that community of like-minded individuals. So we've got to take ourselves up to that level to pull those people in. All right, I'm not going to preach anymore. Failure. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I won't be as good as whoever. Romy Clark, I don't know, who's your person that you're like, I will never be Haley Hobson. I had major Haley Hobson hangups, guys. Major issues because I was so, I'm a really driven person. And so for me, it was like, well, but if I don't push myself that far, then I can't mess up. Right? She was one of those people she was like, everybody can do this if you just work hard. And I was like, but what if I still fail? I can't even follow you, right? Like I had so many hangups there. I didn't go to college. I'm just a mom. I'm just going to shoot for silver because that's safe. I always fail. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. I want nothing more than to see my beautiful Crossline team living to your potential. Like, forget if you fail. Shoot for the big, amazing goals. Guys, we're shooting for diamond right now, and it scares the heck out of me. Like, every single day, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I get this, like, kind of queasy feeling about every 3 days. Like, it is what it is, but I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep pushing because failure isn't failure. It's just I'm going to try again next month. I'm just going to keep going because doTERRA is a long-term plan. It's not like I'm going to not hit diamond and then quit. I'm here, like, till I die, I'm doing doTERRA. That's the long-term plan. So what in the world would failure be? Failure would be quitting. And I'm not going to do that, so I can't ever fail. Okay. Some of us are afraid of success. Uh-oh. Money makes people greedy. I don't need money. People will treat me differently. I won't know. Oh, there's a typo. Ignore it, Amanda Whitman. If you're on here, ignore it. I won't know what to do when I get there. Then we're going to figure it out. Don't be afraid of not knowing the step after the goal, because we're going to figure it out once we get to the goal, right? If you have money issues, I would challenge you. There are some really, really great books, really, really great books out there. I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to think of the name of the one I read. I think it's You Are a Badass at Making Money. Isn't that the name of it? I like it. I like it. It's really good. I also read the initial book, You Are a Badass, which is, I like hearing that. It's awesome. They're both on Audible. Read them. If you feel like you've got mega money issues, like you feel like money is evil, you need to do some work. There's some growth that needs to happen there, because as Natalie Rigby always shares with us, we can't feed the hungry with empty shelves, right? We've got to have something to give, or we'll never be able to give to the extent that we want to. And so money isn't bad. Money is a vehicle to bless more people. Money is a vehicle to touch more lives. Okay. I'm going to move on, I think, as long as there we go. So how do you push through? How do you get past all the fear? You take action. You just do it. You guys, every single day, you just do something that scares you, and you do it scared. That's it. It's easy. You just do it. I'm going to get vulnerability alerts. If you haven't, did you watch Brene Brown's special? Okay, if you have issues with vulnerability, head over there. I, on the other hand, wrote a whole book about all my issues, so we're pretty open and vulnerable at this point. Like, I talked about all kinds of stuff in that book. Things I'm afraid of. I'll just share with you a few. Deep water. Real deep water. Like, I don't like to not see my feet or what's below them. Terrified. Have dreams of drowning. Okay? Something else I'm afraid of, snakes. Like, real bad. it's like, my husband likes to watch Survivor, and I love to watch it with him, and he prepares me when they do the tribal council. I'm always like, don't look, just listen, because there's always a freaking snake on there. Even if it's fake and looks fake, you know there's going to be at least 5 snakes, and it's awful. So, okay, my children being abducted. I'm not kidding you, like, parents, right? Tell me other people are real panicky about it. Like, we go in public, I'm like, nope. Right? Like, those are like maybe some kind of extreme fears that I don't need to have. But also, let's talk about some other like kind of deep ones. Looking like a fraud. People thinking I'm fake. Don't like that feeling. Failing at my goals. Don't like that one. Live videos. It's okay. But here's the deal. I'm going to do it scared. Did you know one of my first live videos, I think it was like my second one ever. I did it in my backyard. I'm just going to make you guys feel really good, okay? Because we all get on there, we're like, I'm going to have a booger on my nose. I'm going to say something weird. One of my kids is going to scream. Okay, you know the part, if you've seen Miss Congeniality, the part where she's like, I know we're all worried that someone's going to fall on their face, but oh, wait, I already did that. I've already fallen on my face for you. So don't worry about it. My like second live I ever did, I am out in my backyard. My oldest kiddos are pushing my baby in the swing. It's this beautiful day. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to talk about our new website, and BOGO Week is coming. Meanwhile, I suddenly see, like, I'm on a roll. I have my comments hidden. And I'm watching myself, because you know when you do a live, you look at yourself. I all of a sudden see laughing faces popping up, right? Because I can see everyone's reactions. It's just laughter. And I'm thinking, did I say something funny? Like, I'm trying to keep going and not stop. What happened? What's going on that I'm missing? And all of a sudden I swipe my comments and I see people going, OMG, your dog. And friends, I kid you not, in the background, my one dog is humping the other one behind me. It's happening. It's already been happening, and I didn't notice it. My most viewed video of all time, right? Of all time. It pops up every year. And I still, like, occasionally, because other people, it now shows up in their memories. Because it was such a popular video, it was shared. My dogs humping each other. No one cared about BOGOs then, right? So I've already fallen on my face. So now you don't have to be scared. Also, make sure you put your dogs up before you go live. That's like a real easy tip that I have for you. I am scared every time I do it. I was terrified when I went and spoke to a MOPS group a few weeks ago. But you know what happened? I did it scared. And I had the best results. I sold books. I got so many of those ladies interested in oils because, of course, oils are going to come up because it's all I talk about. It was like this beautiful, unexpected thing because I pushed through the fear. So you do it scared. You just do it. Every day, I want to challenge you to do something that scares the crap out of you. Every time before I hit live, I get a little nervous and I almost back out. Every time. I do a lot of live videos, guys, and I almost back out. That means every day. I go live every day in some group or somewhere. Every day, I almost back out. But I'm just going to do it because it gets less scary every time. I'm less afraid every time. It's like when you're a kid and you're afraid of the dark, right? And you like don't want to, like slip out of bed and somehow not let your feet touch the floor, but you really have to go to the bathroom and it's the middle of the night and the boogeyman's going to get you, or the monster under your bed or in your closet or whatever. How many of us are still doing that right now? Most of us are not. If you are, it's fine. We probably have oils for that. But it's something we had to push through to reach our potential of getting to go to the bathroom without fear in the night, right? So there have been things in your entire life. Think of all you've overcome so far. What things are you not afraid of? Because every day you did something little to get you closer to overcoming that. All right. I want to give you some tools, things that help. Okay? Things that help. We're going to acknowledge the fears. We're going to call them out. We're going to call them what they are. They're beliefs. They're not truth. They might be truth. There might be a piece in there. But we're not going to accept it as truth for us, right? So you're going to acknowledge it. I acknowledge that I'm deathly afraid of snakes, but I'm not going to walk out onto my front porch and there be a snake right now. It's going to be fine. I can live my life without walking in fear every single day. I'm going to go live, even though it scares me, because I know that I've overcome it before. Affirmations are a huge piece for me. The things that I am really, really afraid of. Okay, let's talk about like my fear of not reaching my goal. I'm doing all the affirmations, right? To keep my mindset, to keep my belief in a positive place, because the second I give in to the fear is when I'm going to quit, right? And then it is a failure. But as long as I can stay in that positive affirmation, high vibe kind of place, I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm going to stay connected to my passion and to my goal, and I'm just going to keep going. Having a support team is important. I mentioned mindset work. Okay, meditation, scriptures, journaling. If you do tapping, dig deep, guys. Get in there. If you need to journal to figure out why you're afraid of something so you can handle that, that's a great place to start. Just start writing about it. You might not know where this fear is coming from, but if you can dig a little bit, I bet you could probably find an oil to help. Pull out that emotion book. Pull out, this is where I got the diffuser, this I Am Fabulous. It's got some good stuff in there. Okay, pull the emotion book, guys. The emotion book. Just if you don't have it, Emotions and Essential Oils. The most current one is green and it's awesome. Okay. Your support team, your upline, your spouse, whoever it is, your accountability partner, let them know what you are walking through. Let them know what you're scared about. I talked on the phone to my friend Amanda last night, and she very simply asked me, well, I mean, what are you most afraid of right now is going to happen? And I hadn't even oh, well, let's acknowledge it. Let's figure out what it is that I'm actually afraid of, and let's just tackle it, right? Because if we don't know where it's coming from and we don't know what it is, these people in our life can help pull that out, and they can help us. They can support us when we're having a day when we're like, hey, I'm freaking out today and I need some support. Like, they're there for those moments. Your environment. I think it's really important to have an environment that's intolerant to fear and giving up and quitting. I have banned negativity in our home. We don't use the word can't. That is something I learned in middle school. I was a cheerleader in high school, and our coach, she was the most amazing woman. She would not allow us to say can't. Every time we said can't, we had to do 10 push-ups. So middle school girls, we don't want to do push-ups, right? Not even girl push-ups. So every time we said I can't, we would have to do push-ups. So I trained myself from 13 on. I don't say I can't, right? So cut out can't, cut out won't, cut out I don't do that. Cut out the negative junk that you say and speak over yourself every day. You know, the words that come out of your mouth literally can affect the cells in your body. Hello. That's scary sometimes. I know the things I've said about myself. Yikes. So cut it out. It's not allowed. Gone. Commitment. visualize it. Guys, you know about vision boards. Teresa last week talked to us about vision. Like, you know how to find your vision, commit to it. Whether that is looking at your vision board, having it posted, having pictures, having your desktop of your computer, your wallpaper on your phone, put it somewhere where you are completely committed and attached to it at all times. Because what does that do? Your vision and your passion and your goals, when we are connected to them, we don't stop, right? We don't give up because we can see it. I have it all in my house right now because I'm on like intense push time in our business, but I have it like over there. It says We Are Diamonds. On my phone, it says Diamond, June 2019. It's everywhere because that is what I am like married to right now, right? That is where we're in that zone. I've got our long-term goals on my desktop. Like, I need constant reminders of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've got my kids' pictures on our vision board. I want to look at that and be like, this is my why. This is my why. This is why I'm doing this. Fear does not own me, right? Like, I can push past because I can see what the long term is. So when we have that long-term vision, it helps us, right? It's not it's overwhelming sometimes, but it's not like debilitating because we can see the other end of it. All right. Tell me, oh, hold on. Where did I move my thing? Hold on. I moved you in front of the little button. Give me a second. Stop share. There I am. Okay. Happy to answer questions. I am officially done. What do you got for me?
You rock. And that was the cutest PowerPoint I think I've ever seen.
I mean, it had to have some pink on it.
I loved it. Powerful. Does anyone have any questions for her? Anything they want to tap in on? You know what I love about this is you're currently gold. Is that what you said?
We have hit platinum on BOGO months only.
Once a platinum, always a platinum, sister.
I'm a platinum, but that's a little overwhelming though.
Try to emphasize. But it's great to hear. Sometimes we have diamond and above leaders or blue diamonds on this call, or presidential diamonds, and it's like you feel like they've made it, right? It's just refreshing to hear, and not saying that they have made it, right? Because we know they tell us like they're in the same trench, they're doing the same thing, like they're still building their business. But to talk to someone who's in that trench, for the first time in that long haul, dedicated to the dedicated, like pack a lunch, we're going. This train's not stopping.
Yeah.
I
basically, like right now, we are because I want to freaking walk at gala. Like, come on. We've been doing this for 5 years. We've had babies in the meantime, right? Sure. So, like, let's push a little pause button. Mom had PTSD. There's a kid with, all these other issues. Like, we've had a lot going on. And, like, honestly, the worst 2 years of my life were at the start of our business. So it was an interesting, like, but I agree. Like, we have this idea that, oh, well, I've made it when I've reached here. Like, I have every intention to do exactly what I'm doing now for the next 5 years, right? Because the long term, when we're looking long term, it's not like, oh, well, diamond is it or silver is it? Like, I'm doing this till I die. So I'm going to do the same pipes activities every day.
Every day. Let's do those pipes. I dig it. I totally dig it. And what's fun is you can do the doTERRA business, like sometimes, and some people might relate to this on this call, right? Like they want to build doTERRA, but they find themselves stuck in that same routine of wanting to do doTERRA. And because of that's why, like we just have this little fear that says, oh, like you can participate, but you can't participate that much.
Right. I mean, I tell my kids are probably sick of hearing this at this point, but like do or do not. Right? There is no try. I'll quote Yoda all day long. You're going to do it or you're going to not.
Yeah.
Like don't tell me you're going to try, or I want to, or hopefully. No, just you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Just be real with yourself and figure out like, what is it that's making me feel like I can't say I am going to do this? Like, what is that block there? Because there's something that's keeping you from fully committing and going all out.
Yeah. I love that. This was fantastic. Did anyone have anything they want to talk? I'm going to shut the recording off.
Yeah, no, you're good.